Okay, everybody. It's 6:59. We'll get started. You all come on in. As always, we're grateful for another day. God is good. Yes, He is. Instagram, Facebook. You all come on in, and as we said, we'll get this party started. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know what part of the country, what part of the world you're in, but we are live this morning on Facebook and Instagram. All right, there we go. Real Talk with the Bishop. Bridget Skinner likes your video. All right, Bridget. Thank you, Bridget. You're such a faithful follower, partner. I thank you, for your consistency. Y'all come on in on Instagram. Let me see. Am I live on Instagram? Yes, I am. Doris is waving to me on Instagram. I'm sorry, I have this video stuff set up, man. This contraption that I put together. Hey, when you're innovative and you got all kind of ways of doing stuff, you make it happen. It's all about making it happen. It really is. All right. So y'all come on in. Victoria McDonald, Nisi Pooh, Marva Swat, God bless you. Mr. Sean Tate, hey, bro. Deborah Blissett Holiday, good morning to you. Had a phenomenal service yesterday. Production team, drama, choir, media, I mean, everybody, the ushers, the greeters, parking lot. We had overflow in the other building. God was in the house. He was in the house. And for all of you who will follow me on social media, I'm sure you were blessed by the production, Resurrection Sunday. And it was a phenomenal day and display that was a result of ministry coming together. And of course, sharing the great news that Jesus rose from the dead. And He's alive. And He's alive in me today. I'm living the life of Christ every day. What a privilege to have Christ in us. The Son of God is in us. It's awesome, man. All right, let's go. This week, we're going to talk about it's time for a change. It's time. My God. Real talk. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. All right. So let's talk about it this week as we share, change, various angles, perspectives of change. And of course, change encompasses every area of our lives, every area. We're going to talk about that. All right. It's a matter of fact. We're going through a metamorphosis. All right. In your marriage, your relationships, your finances, your health, your ministry, your walk with the Lord. So we're going to talk about change. All right. So the word change is defined as the act, process, or result of making different. Synonyms, words such as alterations, difference, modification, redoing, refashioning, remaking, remodeling, revise, reworking. So change is about reworking. It's about revising. What's a revision? All right. Remodeling. Sometimes individuals get their homes remodeled. That's change. We're going through a change, you all. You don't have to like it, but it is. It's a fact. We're going through a change, and it's time. It's time. Here we are in the month of April, and the fourth month of the year. And so we have to ask ourselves, what have we done different than we did in 2020? We're in the fourth month of 2021. It's a new year. All right. It's time for a change. So I'm going to give you some considerations as I'm sharing this week. I'm going to give you, again, reasons why, today particularly, 7 reasons why people resist change. And all of us at given times resist change. Let's be clear about that. Number one, insecurity. Insecurity, all right? Change scares people. Individuals tend to find security in traditional approaches to life and situations. Insecurity, we find ourselves in our self-imposed comfort zones. Self-imposed. for whatever the reason. All right. And so there's some insecurities when it comes to change. We tend to want to hold on to the way things have been. Number two, lack of proper communication. Now, I want you to put these reasons why we resist change into the context of your personal life. All right. Again, whether it's your health, your finance, your relationships, your ministry as a pastor, or as a member of a church or a company, organization. Again, number two, lack of proper communication. If the need for the change is not communicated to the workers, church members, family members in time and in an acceptable manner, then it can lead to resistance. It's important when we talk about change. Again, communication is an intricate and a vital part of change. And sometimes it's hard to communicate change because we already know there's going to be resistance when it comes to change. Sometimes we suppress communication and conversations because we already anticipate that this is going to be a problem. Number three, rapidness and extent of change. Sometimes change is too quick. If the changes are minor and involve routine operations, then the resistance, if any, would be minimal. However, if the changes are major, such as reshuffling of staff, the resistance will be highly visible. Similarly, slow changes in the process result in low resistance than sudden or rapid changes. Let's talk about finances. You want to get out of debt. You want to eliminate or liquidate some debt in your financial portfolio, particularly debt itself. Well, think about it in the context gradually paying off stuff. I can remember some years ago, of course, wanted to get out of debt, and I had to realize that it don't happen overnight. And then when you're in an environment where it's just where others are involved in the decision, you got to be careful, because if you come in such a way that you want this change overnight, geez, I feel God already this morning. Overnight, you're not going to fix your relationship overnight. Listen to me. You or myself, whoever the individual might be, you don't fix a broken relationship overnight. But it's time for a change. We're gonna talk about how to bring about change in this sharing. Amen. It took you, 15 years in your marriage, 20 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. Parenting, it don't change, don't happen overnight, you all. If there's a breach in a relationship with your sons, your daughters, or whatever the case may be, guess what? You got to put in the reality that we didn't get here overnight. So don't expect people to just bounce back because you're ready for change. That's real talk. Number four, group resistance. Again, whether it's family, whether it's church, whether it's your company, your organization, group resistance. People resist the group. Sometimes the group resists change. Let me break this down for you. Sometimes individuals resist change because the group to which they belong resisted. The group resisted. The individuals usually comply with the group norms and codes and supports the group attitudes and activities. So, for instance, you get a new pastor in your church, and folk have an invested interest in the church, and they're stakeholders in the church. They tend to want to not change. A new pastor comes on, and they don't want to change because he's young, he's vibrant, and he is not necessarily stuck in transition when it comes to change. My God, I had a friend of mine years ago, was in a particular church, and the older people didn't want change, to the degree they stopped paying their tithes and stopped giving in the ministry. They stopped giving because why? They didn't want change. They wanted things as they had been. They were secure. They'll come with what it has been. I said, listen, Doc. I shared with him. I said, listen, man, he was frustrated. It was affecting his relationship within his marriage. I said, man, listen to me. You have to understand something. That, first of all, it was about 15 of them, maybe 20 at the most. But here's my point. I said, listen, man, you're dealing with a spiritual issue here. All right. This is a spiritual stronghold. It is a seducing spirit. That's what I told him. Spirit of the witch. I told him, I said, listen, man, you cannot change them folk. They brought him in for change. They didn't want change. What did he do? He resigned. Because sometimes people, the group, it could be in your family, could hold the whole family hostage. You know, a few people get together, they decide we're gonna disavow and disconnect and all the above. Sometimes it's a group. It's difficult when a group decides we're not going to participate. All right. Number 5, emotional turmoil. One of the major reasons for resistance, let me go back. One of the major reasons for resistance centers on the emotional turmoil that a change may cause, especially if the past experiences with change have not been positive. Y'all forgive me. That was the doctor calling me. Okay. One of the major reasons for resistance centers on the emotional turmoil that changes can cause, especially if the past experiences with change have not been positive. This results in misunderstanding and lack of trust, so that even when change is well intended, its significance is misinterpreted, leading to resistance. So here's the point. Sometimes change is so emotional. I mean, let me talk to you. And I have to drive this home, particularly when it comes to relationships. People have emotional baggage. Let me say this like this. They have emotional alliances to the way things have been. For instance, you're raising a son or daughter. You say that I want you in the house by midnight. I'm just giving you a point of reference. And they've been coming in at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's a problem. Why? Because the child or the individual says, you know what, why now? And so there's an emotional connection to that decision that sometimes brings resistance in relationships. You decide that things are going to be different. It's time for a change. Cause a problem. So there's emotional turmoil, chaos. Why? Because people don't like change. And there are times you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you get fed of being fed up. Y'all talk to me now. There are times you say, you know what? This is where I draw the line. And when you start drawing the line and bring about change, there's going to be chaos. But it's time for change. Even when it is emotionally traumatic, it's time for change. Number 6, brother, loss of power and control. There are times when a change will reduce the power of an individual, group, or unit, and the prospect of such loss of power will create resistance. Even though such change may be considered good for the organization, good for your family, good for your church, there are times it's good for the whole, but yet people have this sense of entitlement, and they have this sense that I like being in control. And when they sense that they're going to lose that control, that influence, it brings about a problem. That's real talk. So there's a sense of, I'm no longer going to be the president. I'm no longer going to be over the finance. I'm no longer going to be the CEO. It's time for change. Sometimes you're in a place, you have open positions too long, man, too long. And there will be resistance. There'll be resistance. Because some people are thirsty for power and authority. But sometimes change is necessary. It's time for a change. Number 7, and I close with this. Number 7, more work. People resist because they sense that this is going to cause me have to contribute more work. Here is a universal challenge. Change is indeed more work. That's a fact. When you start talking about change, people equate change with work. And so you know what? They say, I don't like this. I got to show up earlier. I got to give more. I got to study more. I got to plan more. Come on. So they see it as work, more work. I'm already giving all I have. I don't have no more to give. Who said that? Who told you that? You never know what you have until you just get to the end of yourself. And then you discover, you know what? There was more in me. I'm telling you, I've drawn the line many, many times. And I'll say, I can't take it no more. I can't do no more. And God will stretch me beyond my self-imposed limitations. It's time for a change. All right. Now, I need you to do me a favor, share, like, love the page. Amen. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me pause and thank all of you who contributed to our capital improvement campaign, your first fruit giving. Thank you so much. Of course, I'm most grateful. We raised it right at $45,000. Of course, our goal is to at least raise 80,000, at least that. So if you feel still led to give and share, we're yet to reach our goal. But I want to thank all of you who participated, and we yet believe in God will reach our goal. So on the app, on the page, you see the Cash App. Matter of fact, well, that's my Cash App. But if you give it to me, I'll give it to the church. Let's be clear about that. Amen. All right. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. God bless you.